Well, good afternoon folks, viewers, subscribers. Welcome to yet another review video. You're looking at Pula International Airport in Croatia, Lima Delta Papa Lima. It's one of the main airports in Croatia. Obviously you've got Dubrovnik as well. And this is a new scenery for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, developed by a gentleman called Davor Pujovic. Some of you may know him from his sceneries for FSX and P3D. He's a reasonably prolific developer, although I haven't seen a lot lately. Maybe he's just been getting used to Microsoft Flight Sim 2020 and learning how to use it. Anyway, it's available. This is his scenery for it. It's available on Sim Market. We'll put the prices up, but basically it's €16.80, and I'll put the other prices up in US and UK as close as I can. Download size is 87 meg, and it installs to a file size of 274 meg in your community folder. We'll go through a little history for you. So, Pula International Airport serves the town of Pula on the Istrian Peninsula in Croatia. The airport's located 6 kilometers, or about 3.8 miles, from the town of Pula. And this airport's actually used as a diversion or alternate for many of the Eastern Italian airports. It's a gateway airport and gives access to the Brijuni National Park, which is a group of islands off the coast. We'll have a look. The scenery includes Pula Airport that you're looking at, also the smaller airport of Medulin, Lima Delta Papa Mike, the National Park of Brijuni, and Pula Town. So we'll have a look at this in detail and you can see what you think. The airport began life as a military airport and then was handed over to for civilian use in May 1967. 1989, work was completed on the new terminal with a capacity for 1 million passengers a year, and you're looking at it there to the left. So the airport has a single runway, 0927. The terminal serves both domestic and international flights. They have 13 stands and 1 helicopter stand. Single runway is 9,678 feet, or 2,950 meters long. It's asphalt, lies at an elevation of 274 feet or 84 meters. Is equipped with high intensity runway lighting system and PAPIs, precision approach path indicators, at both ends. Runway 27 will give you an ILS, NDB, RNAV and VOR approach options. Runway 09 is RNAV, VOR, locator only. The airport is an international airport. It's instrument equipped, so it has a full set of IAP charts for those of you who have Navigraph. Passenger numbers, these are figures for 2019. They had 777,568 passengers and 10,428 aircraft movements that year, obviously before COVID struck. The airport itself is served by over 20 airlines, including Croatian Airlines, which is the state-owned national flag carrier. So there's the airport. As you can see, the detail looks really sharp, looks really good. I know some people would prefer to see dirt all over the place to make it look like it's really used. In some cases it is, and if you look at you can see the ramp, the oil stains on the ramp here, which I think are quite good. But I like the clean and sharpness of the airport, really like it. So there you go, let's get into this review and have a close look at what's on offer here. Okay, to begin with, here we are with my VAP Airbus sitting on the ramp here on stand 1. So just looking at the local clutter here, you've got the default Asobo vehicles like this one here, catering truck, and you've got bits and pieces here that's been added by the developer. As you can see, everything's really sharp and clear, even right down to the fence line there. Foliage looks really nice. As you can see, the markings on the ground on the ramp there, and even including the 40 mile an hour sign, are really, really nice and sharp. So we'll just move across to the car park here. Again, very well defined, nicely done, very sharp. I really like it when developers go to these lengths to make their work look sharp like this. When other developers use sort of like low resolution textures, it doesn't make the airport look very sharp at all. But here's an example of a project that's been done really well. So again, we're just panning landside of the terminal here so you can have a look, just get an idea of the layout and the ambience of it. As I've said before in many reviews, I'm all about ambience and atmosphere, and this is yet another airport that's got it. Signs could be a bit sharper, but I don't know if this is his first airport for Flight Sim 2020. Maybe it is. I haven't seen anything else from him, so maybe he's still learning to improve. So a little run up the landside road. Again, bus details and things are really sharp. It's very impressive. As you can see, the signs there could be a bit sharper, but everything else looks good. Front of the terminal there looks good. We'll have a look inside in a minute. Nice reflections on the windows there. And the local police. Not bad at all. So here's the terminal main entrance from landside. Let's go inside and have a look. As you can see, this has been really well done. The signage here inside the building is actually a lot sharper than the signs outside. Would be nice to see the signs outside having the same level of sharpness. Not sure if there's a reason why, but we'll see. There's a cafe. Looks quite nice. Possibly the figures are a little out of place in a way, but no, it looks good. Lighting's okay. So looking back towards the entrance there, and the check-in, well, not the check-in desk, the airline information desks are there. Nice to see the trees and everything from the outside being able to be seen through the misted glass. A little further in the terminal there, that looks like possibly the security check, I don't know. In fact, yes it is. I think it is a security check. Something I know an awful lot about, having worked in the aviation security industry for nearly 40 years. So another look back across the landside concourse there, showing the check-in desk and the baggage drops. All looks really nice, very nice. So let's go airside. So we're now in the airside lounge. Very nice, nicely developed seating there. And there you can see through the misted glass out landside, out to the airside apron, which looks good. Very pleased with that. That's the security check back there. So duty-free shops and bits and pieces there. This isn't perfect. There are obviously little sort of errors and bits and pieces here. Like this is really kind of out of kilter with the rest of the terminal. These are a little bit low resolution, they're not quite sharply defined. But really these are the only little nitpicks I've got. it's nice. A nice attempt to do it inside. So many developers don't, and it looks nice. Oh, there's a nice shot there, just showing the airside road with a bus outside. Passengers are taken either by bus or they walk, depending on where the aircraft's parked. There are no jetways at Pula. The weather here most of the year round is quite decent, so you very rarely get rained or snowed on. So it's not bad at all. It does get hot in the summer. So I was just looking to see if they get any sharper when you get closer or mid-range or something, but they don't. But they're okay. If this is his first attempt at Flight Sim 2020 Airport, it's not bad. And I fully expect it these things to improve. So we go a little further inside the airside part of the terminal. There's another shop there. So you've got, as you can see, sort of flat photographs of people. Yep, quite nice the way it looks. Again, you can see outside through the darkened windows. And here you can see a couple of people waiting there, looking out through those windows. So we're outside again, just looking across the car park. There you can see the airside landside fence boundary. There's the cargo area over the corner there. We'll have a quick look in a minute. And the control tower. And there's a nice shot showing some people outside there. That looks, I don't know, it looks like a sun. Oh, there is an exit way that goes down the stairs to the airside bus that takes you to the aircraft. So it's kind of like a departure gate. And here's the bus, a couple of buses, the airside road. Yeah, ambient wise it looks lovely. It's all very, very nice. The blast screens, very pleasant indeed. Just looking around the other side of the terminal here. So Pula accepts international and domestic arrivals, so presumably what they've done is they've split the part of the terminal arrivals area in two so that the two don't mix. So let's have a quick look at the cargo area. Right, so this is airside, obviously because it's inside the fence there. Just a static building with an image pasted on it. Another look at the building there. No vehicles, but yeah, it's fine. It's done quite nicely. There's a container sitting there, and a control tower. As you can see, you've got some couple of moving vehicles. Foliage looks nice. Let's have a look inside the control tower. Okay, the inside is there, but there's nothing in it. But it's fine. As you can see, you get this misty glass view outside of the airport, which is perfectly okay. So, cargo building again. I've got a couple of fuel trucks there. And that looks like possibly the old control tower in the previous. Certainly looks the sort of tower that we thought it would be. And just over there you can see the military apron. They still use to have military flights into here. There's a helicopter there and two jets and hangars. So just panning out across the taxiway and runway. Markings look good, they're sharp. Runway markings are exceptionally sharp there, and you can see there are lights either side. All in all, looks really nice. No complaints at all, generally. Just little things which I think possibly the developer will improve on, possibly in future sceneries, or maybe as an update to this, I don't know. But it's a nice place to fly into, and now it's nice to see Pula being available for the new simulator. So let's have a look at this at dusk. Okay, so it's August the 16th, it's 8:15 in the evening local time. As you can see, the dusk is here, the lights are on. It looks quite nice, ambient wise it looks lovely. Let's go and have a look at the runways itself. They're supposed to have high intensity runway lighting system at both ends, so let's have a look. So there you go, we're looking down runway 09, and it has exactly as it should. It has the high intensity runway lighting system here and the PAPI precision approach path indicators. Let's have a quick look at 27. There's a nice view, isn't there? So there's runway 27, which is the ILS equipped runway, and again we've got the high intensity runway lights and the precision approach path indicators. Runway's well lit, so no problems landing at dusk or night time here. Okay, so we're looking at the access taxiway to runway 27. As you can see, signage is good, it's well lit. No green taxiway centerline lights, unfortunately, and I can't see any blue airfield boundary lights, but we'll have a look at darkness in a minute and see. All looks good. As you can see there, taxiway center lines in yellow, but they have no lighting. Let's have a look at the ramp area itself. So there you go, it looks really nice. Just the right amount of lighting. The lights look good, although not all of them, it would appear, are on, but let's have a look. Let's get a bit closer to the terminal and have a look at it. So lighting looks good. You've got huge stand lights there that seem to provide the appropriate lighting. Let's get a close-up in the terminal. And again, you can see inside the terminal, perfectly adequate, no problems at all. So just looking at landside here, again, lighting is perfectly acceptable. The signs aren't lit, which I'd have thought they would be, but there you go, it's not a problem. And that's nice. That looks very, very nice. Again, a nice lighting. Interesting to see you've got these lamps attached to the outside. I didn't even know they were there, but they look really good. The effect is very pleasant. I sort of often talk about these things here that are dotted in the scenery to sort of give lighting, but of course they're not on any poles. You'll see these all over Microsoft Flights in 2020. Nothing really to worry about, but it is a little bit unrealistic. However, these look really good. They do look good. So again, you can see inside the terminal there the lighting. It's fine. It's very nice indeed. No complaints really at all. It's a job well done. Now that's interesting. Now we can see some identifier lights. These that go blue. These are supposed to be the boundary edge lights. So I'm not sure really why they're there. They should be marking the boundary of the airfield. However, let's have a look. So there's the fire station to the right there. And unfortunately it's not lit, and I suspect the interior of the fire station probably isn't done. Let's have a look. No, that's okay. So let's just get out over towards the runway again. And again, you see there's an absence of the blue airfield identifier lights, boundary marking lights. There's a sign there that's not lit. Not really sure why. All in all, it's okay. It's fine. So let's have a look at night time. So here we are, 9:05 at night, well into the darkness hours. As you can see, the ramp lighting, which is clearly what you need, is perfectly acceptable. No complaints at all. The terminal's well lit. Some of the others aren't. Some of the other buildings aren't, but that's okay. So there you've got a taxiway coming off the runway, and you've got the lighting here, but again you have no green centerline lights. You're really going to be using your aircraft lights to make sure you're following the path off of the runway, because there's no other identifying lighting system. I've not been to Pula Airport at night time, or any other time for that matter, so I don't know if that is correct. So maybe if you've been there at night, in the comments, maybe you could let me know if you've seen any taxiway lighting at all. And again, looking down the taxiway all the way down to runway 27 threshold there, no lighting at all. And basic lighting by the military apron. So this looks nice, but it could be a challenge in the darkness hours finding your way out of the terminal to the runway and back again. You're going to need to use your lights and charts and just keep a good look on things. So let's go to dawn. So it's 6:15 in the morning. The lights have just gone out on the terminal ramp area, and you can see the sun's just coming up over the horizon. Looks okay, looks nice. Let's bring the sun up a bit more. Okay, so now it's 8 AM, the sun's well up, and as you can see, everything's well defined. So again, you see there's the taxiway with the two lit signs either side of it and the markings, none of which you can see during the darkness hours. And as I said, what we're missing, and I don't know if it's at the real airport, pretty much most international airports have them, are the blue airfield boundary identifier lighting that basically goes around the boundary and tells you where the airport ends and the rest of it begins. So that wraps it up for the airport. What I'd like to do now is have a look at the smaller airport that comes with this scenery, and it's the smaller airport called Medulin, Lima Delta Papa Mike. So let's just have a look at that. Okay, so you're looking at Medulin Airfield, Lima Delta Papa Mike. This is an overview from a high elevation. As you can see, it's a grass, or in this case a kind of burnt grass runway. It's used, basically it's a stopping off point because the town of Medulin here in the islands area, just a few miles south of Pula, is where a lot of the tourists come. Beautiful part of the world, and as you can see there's a major road goes in front of it. So what you can see flashing away is my little Cessna in the middle of the runway there. So the runway direction is 3012 and the airport elevation is 167 feet or 51 meters thereabouts, and this is included with this Pula scenery package. So we just pan across here. As you can see, it's fairly basic. A few buildings. Building there with LDPM written on the roof so you can identify the airfield. Another building there that hasn't quite set properly onto the ground. Not sure what they are. I'm sure somebody will probably be able to tell me. As you can see, very quaint little airstrip. Nothing to write home about, but it's somewhere else to explore. Let's just have a look at the runway at dusk. As you can see, there's no lighting on the runway at all, so this really isn't a place you'd want to come in after sunset. So there you go, that's Medulin, very quaint little place. Somewhere for you to take your Cessna or your helicopter and have a little look around. Very pleasant. Okay, so let's have a look at Pula City, which also, the town of Pula, which is also included in this product. So we'll have a look at that. So here we are approaching the city and the port of Pula. We're at a high elevation at the moment. We'll come down a bit lower shortly. I just want to see what it looks like Few high-rise buildings there. Lots of local looking buildings with the red roofs. Stadium there. So we're going into the port now. Let's go down a little lower. So looking quite nice. A few things have been added here clearly. They're certainly not default. But the port looks very quaint, very acceptable. There's a mixture of default buildings and obviously stuff that the developer has added. As you can see, a very beautiful location here. These are the islands, part of the Pržuni National Park. That doesn't look too good there, but I think that's an Asobo anomaly. Very pleasant islands out here. All in all, looks really nice. Very nice part of the world to explore. Harbours and breakwaters there. So I'm just coming back towards the harbour here and looking at some of these buildings. So the harbour looks nice. Various cranes, bits and pieces and ships. Cargo area there, very pleasant. So, as you can see, lots of these unique little buildings. Very nicely done. We're coming down another boat harbour here. Some boats have been added, some are photographic. This look better from higher elevation. But again, it does look nice. Really beautiful islands here. Could be fun to explore. So let's have a look at this at sort of late afternoon as the sun goes down. So 7:30 in the evening. Lovely sort of reflections of the sunset on the buildings there. And just looking at the city and the harbour there, really looks nice in the sunset as the sun goes down. So the sun's practically gone right down now. We're just looking at the lighting. As you can see, there's quite a bit of lighting. Looks very, very pleasant actually. Let's go a little closer to the port. So as you can see, the buildings are nicely lit. There's a good effect. There's a stadium there to the left. There's some lighting on the port, not a lot. A cruise ship there that's lit. So as you can see, there are some bits and pieces that have been added here. Certainly that down there onto the right is not default. But the buildings look quaint. Very pleasant. And there you can see the airport to the left. So 6:20 in the morning, there you're looking at the city or the town of Pula and the port there to the right, and the airport, international airport there to the left. So that about wraps it up for this review. Do I like this? Yes, of course I do. We now have Dubrovnik and Pula, two interesting airports to fly into in Croatia down the Adriatic, as well as you now obviously have the diversion if you're flying into Italy. I kind of wondered whether there would be enough in the scenery to justify the price, because the price isn't low but it's not high either. 16 euros, it's about just under $20 US. But when you look at what's been done to the town here with the buildings, the airport is excellent, apart from some of the things that could be better. But for sort of daytime and dusk flights, no real problem at all. Night flights could be fun if you don't get the ILS, if you get the RNAV into runway 09, bearing in mind the ground lighting is fairly absent until you get to the terminal area. So yeah, you've got a few little bits and pieces. Some of the hoardings and things inside the terminal where he's developed could be a lot sharper. But again, as I said, I don't know if this is just his first scenery for flights in 2020 and he's still sort of learning to develop. What I do know is that he was an excellent developer for FSX and P3D. It's nice to see him foray into this market. It's a nice product. There's lots here to look at and enjoy. If you're just an airliner jockey who goes into the airport, then you've got plenty there. That's fine. Everything you need is there, and you'll have fun with parking because there are no jetways. So it really is a little challenge for you as an airliner pilot to maneuver your Airbus or Boeing 737 into the right parking spot. So that'll always be good. If you're a GA flyer, you've got this airport, another airport to the south to explore there, and the city and the whole island area to explore. And I think the quantity here, and it is good, the buildings in the city are stunning, very, very nice, especially at night. And as you can see, this time of the day the ambience looks wonderful. It's a lovely place. There's plenty here to justify the price. Looking forward to his next product. Hopefully he will understand what we're talking about, and we'll see some improvements in the way he does some of the other things. But it's a quality product. The price is certainly right for what you get. Very happy with it. I think it's very nice, and it's a nice addition to the market. So there you go, folks. That wraps it up for today. This is the review. It's been a review of the scenery for Flight Simulator 2020, the city and the airport of Pula, by developer Davor Puljevic. I hope I've said that correctly. A prolific developer for FSX and P3D in the past, and now foraying into MS Flight Sim 2020. 16 euros and 80 cents, or £14.28 UK, and $19.79 in US currency. Those are estimates. Downloads 87 meg, installs at 274 meg, and includes the airport of Pula, Lima Delta Papa Lima, Medulin Airport, the grass strip further south, Lima Delta Papa Mike, the National Park of Bajuni and the islands which we've briefly looked at, and the Pula town which you're looking at below, including the port. Very, very nice. I'm very pleased with it, and thank you for joining me on the review. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've learned something. Happy to see any comments that you might make. And again, if you like this kind of thing, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I do lots of reviews, mostly in Flight Sim 2020 now, but I still fly in P3D, and you'll see there's also a review of the recently released Auckland, New Zealand for P3D as well on my channel. So hopefully you'll find something that you like. If you've got any requests, things you'd like me to look at, please ask. I release at least one video every Saturday around about noon. Usually it's 2 or 3, sometimes 4, and sometimes I'll release in a week as well. So this is Lee, Virtual Airline Pilot, saying thank you very much for joining me. I will see you in the next video, so it's bye for now.